How many books did you read before your 13th birthday? What would you do when you ran out of books to read? If you made $500 at 12 years old, would you save every single cent of it? Would you leave your country with barely anything in your pocket? Would you bet everything on yourself before you even knew what you were building? Pretoria, South Africa, 1983. This is Elon Musk. He is 12 years old. Before Tesla, before SpaceX, before $800 billion. The answers start here, at 12, in a bedroom, at midnight. The hallway is loud, lunch break. Every other kid is running, shouting, throwing things. One kid is standing against a wall, reading.
Hey, freak, what are you reading now?
Encyclopedia, Volume 9, G through H.
Nobody reads encyclopedias for fun, you know that, right?
I've read 14 volumes. How many have you read?
That was the wrong answer. They pushed him down the stairs. He hit concrete, got up, found his book, kept reading.
This is going to keep happening until I figure out how to make it stop. So I need to figure out how to make it stop.
That was Elon Musk at 10 years old. Not angry, not crying, just solving the problem. His parents' marriage had been falling apart for years. When it ended, Elon chose to stay with his father, a decision he'd later call one of the worst mistakes of his life. But in his father's house, in the corner of the living room, covered in a thin layer of dust, was a Commodore VIC-20 computer.
What does this do?
He picked up the manual. The cover said, "Allow 6 months to learn this programming language." He read it in 3 days.
If I can tell it what to do, it does it. Every time. No arguments, no pushing, just does it.
For a boy who spent his days being pushed around, that was everything. He is 12 years old, it's past midnight. Everyone in the house is asleep, he is not. On the screen in front of him, a video game. His video game, he's been building it for weeks. It's called Blastar. You pilot a spaceship, you destroy alien freighters carrying hydrogen bombs. Simple, clean, completely his.
The movement speed on the enemy ships is too slow. Players will get bored after the third wave.
I need to increase the difficulty curve, but if I change the base speed, I have to rewrite the collision detection.
He rewrote the collision detection at midnight on a school night because it wasn't right yet. And when it was right, he didn't show it to his friends. He mailed it to a magazine. PC and Office Technology, a South African tech publication. He'd been reading it for 2 years. He knew it was good enough. He wrote a cover letter, sealed the envelope, mailed it. 3 weeks later, a letter came back.
They want to publish it. They're going to pay me $500. $500. I built something, and the world paid me for it.
$500 in 1984 is roughly $1,700 today. For most 12-year-olds, that's a summer of video games. He didn't spend a cent of it. Not because his parents told him to save, not because he had a financial plan, because something had just clicked.
Money isn't for spending. Money is for building the next thing.
South Africa, 1989. Elon is 17, and there is a problem. Every young white male in South Africa is required to complete mandatory military service, serving a government that enforces apartheid.
If I do this, I spend 2 years serving something I believe is wrong. Then I come back to a country where what I want to build cannot be built. That is not a life, that is a sentence. I want to go to Canada. Mom has a passport, I can get one too. I am going to apply.
You have everything you need here, Elon. Your brother is here, this family is here. What exactly are you going to find in Canada that you don't have right now?
Opportunity, real opportunity, not this.
You're 17 years old. You don't know what real opportunity looks like.
I've read more about economics, history, and business than most adults you know. I know exactly what I'm talking about.
You're not going.
He went.
You have the address in Kingston.
I have it.
And money.
$2,000.
That's not very much, Elon.
It's enough to get there. I'll figure out the rest when I arrive.
I know you will.
He boarded the plane. One bag, $2,000, no job waiting, no apartment, no plan beyond get there.
Staying, stable income, no upside, moral compromise. Leaving, uncertain start, unlimited upside, no compromise. If it goes wrong, it's survivable. If it goes right, everything changes. The math isn't even close.
He lands in Canada. His mother's cousin is supposed to pick him up. They're not there. He has an address. He takes a bus. He knocks on the door, nobody home.
Okay, next option.
He finds a couch, then a floor, then a job, shoveling grain at a granary. $7 an hour, he took it. Then he found something better, or worse, depending on how you look at it. A boiler cleaning job, industrial, barely big enough to crawl through.
How much is the bonus?
$18 an hour, but nobody lasts.
I'll last.
He lasted, he put every dollar away, and in the evenings he read. 2 years after arriving with nothing, he transferred to Queen's University. 2 years after that, University of Pennsylvania, 1 degree in economics, 1 in physics. He graduated, applied to Stanford's PhD program in energy physics. He got in. He showed up on day 1. He left on day 2.
The internet is happening right now. If I spend 5 years in a lab, the window closes. The PhD will still be there, the window won't. I'm leaving Stanford, I'm moving to Silicon Valley. I have an idea.
You just got in. You're really going to leave.
I gave myself 48 hours to decide. Time's up.
Here's what this episode is really about. Not a boy who got lucky with a video game, not a teenager who ran away from home. It's about 2 decisions, made before he turned 18, that he never stopped making. The first one, don't consume your capital, deploy it. He made $500 at 12. He didn't spend it, because money sitting still was potential, and potential was all he trusted. The second decision, when the upside is unlimited and the downside is survivable, you take the bet. Leaving South Africa with $2,000 was survivable. Cold, hard, lonely, but survivable. He mapped the downside and walked through it. You might be sitting on $500 right now, or $5,000 or $50, the amount doesn't matter. The question he asked at 12 is available to you right now. Is this money going to buy something or build something? Write that down. If this is clicking for you, follow BudgetSketch. Next episode, he is sleeping on an office floor, living on $1 a day, building a company worth $300 million. Same mindset, 10 times the stakes. He moved to Silicon Valley with his brother. They couldn't afford an office, so they lived in one. One computer, during the day a workstation, at night a pillow. For months, Elon Musk lived on $1 a day, on purpose, because every other dollar was going into the company. A company that 4 years later sold for $307 million. And what he did the day that check cleared is the most important financial decision of his life. Not what he bought, what he didn't buy. BudgetSketch tells the real financial stories of the world's greatest builders. This is Elon, First Principles, and we're just getting started. Follow BudgetSketch so you don't miss episode 2, and drop your answer below. What would you have done with that $500? Episode 2 is right here. And drop your answer below. What would you have done with $500 at age 12?